Hi everyone and welcome to another Speedpaint. Today I'm going to be drawing Mega Pearl, which is a fusion from the new Steven Universe episodes within Steven Universe Future, which is an epilogue limited series-esque thing that sort of continues after the Steven Universe movie. And I'm going to be giving my thoughts and sort of like a little review on it throughout the Speedpaint. I'm sorry if you hear any noise or like banging in the back. There is a building being built across from me, which has very inconsistent noise. But you know we make do, so. Yeah, I'm drawing Mega Pearl, or is that how she has been dubbed? I like the name Royal Pearl more, because I just think it's, you know, it's nicer, it's, you know, it's more fun. However, you know, she is the way she is, and spoilers ahead if you have not seen anything yet, though they have been out for a while now, so I doubt, you know, most of you haven't seen the episodes. Anywho, so I'm going to be sort of going into my thoughts first before I go into sort of the process of drawing this little thing, which I had a lot of fun drawing. But yeah, so 4 episodes released on the same day, and they were interesting. I wasn't entirely excited for this new Steven Universe because as much as I adore the show and I really do like it, it has a lot of issues, especially towards the end, that just really ain't doing it for me. The first episode, which I'm going to go into first the small little things that I didn't like about it before I go into something like major, which has been a running sort of issue throughout the series as a whole and not just within these episodes. So the first episode actually has Jasper in it, which I was very pleasantly surprised because I tweeted out when I first saw the opening of the show that if they made Jasper a villain, I would lose my it would be on sight. On fucking sight. I would drop it in a heartbeat. I would do it. But they didn't, kind of surprisingly. So the first episode is just sort of, you know, where everyone's at right now, how everything's going. It seems to be that Steven and Amethyst are going to be sort of the main point of view characters for this season, or at least that's what I sort of grasped from the first, you know, few episodes, although, you know, I might be wrong, we'll see. But yeah, so he goes to Jasper because he's the only gem that he can't really help or whatever, and he sort of is like, you can't, like, he gave her a vibe check essentially, and it was like, you can't just be out here on main being stupid, and, you know, like, isolating yourself, like, you need to go find help, blah blah blah. You can't, you know, you just can't be stupid on main like this. And you know, Jasper, they had a whole confrontational thing. Jasper was like, I want to fight you. Steven was like, fine. And then that sort of like showed Steven a part of him that he didn't know, which sort of like unlocked this sort of weird special power that he has, which is shown later on in the show again through Smoky Quartz when Steven and Amethyst fused. And Steven sort of is like, oh, well, Jasper, you're not what I thought you were, blah, 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 blah. Jasper's like, haha. Yeah, okay, fuck off. That was essentially the episode, and very minor nitpick. You can really tell when the crew is not used to drawing a gem because, not even gonna flex, Jasper looked a little rough. She looked a little rough these episodes, you know, but you know, that's sort of a minor thing, and it could also be the fact that we went from Steven Universe the movie, which was this amazingly animated, very fluid, on model looking thing, to, you know, TV production show thingy. You know, I'm not expecting the highest of qualities, but I don't know, draw Jasper a little more before you animate her. The second episode was Steven and Amethyst doing things again, sort of going into, you know, Steven's kind of undermining Amethyst's work, not entirely undermining, but sort of dictating what people can and can't kind of do, because he thinks that people should do things that are outside their comfort zone, which like always do that, which, you know, is not a very good message. Like sometimes people are best within their element, and that's fine. So, you know, that was just like a fun little educational little episode. It was fine. And then Rosebuds, that was a very interesting episode because it finally dealt with the rose quartz that were bubbled away in Pink Diamond's like little chamber. And, you know, it was very weird for everyone involved, like Steven and Pearl mostly, and Greg. It was weird for everyone, and, you know, that sort of was dealt with in a very, I feel like it was dealt in a good way. It sort of concluded with, you know, Steven being like, listen, I know what it's like to be reprimanded and to be equated to my mother, because that kind of happened to me throughout like my whole life, essentially. We're more akin to siblings than, you know, anything else, blah blah blah. And I feel like it was overall like a nice, happy little message at the end. It was good, it was nice. And then Volleyball, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So we finally meet up with Pink Pearl, and we find out in this episode that the reason why she has that eye scar thing is actually because of Pink Diamond, and Pearl wants Steven to heal her because she thinks he can, and Steven, you know, tries to heal her physical gem and then her eye, but nothing works. So they go to Pearl and they ask her, and then they go to the place where they make pearls, and Pearl and Pink Pearl sort of have a tension, and by they have a tension, I mean that mostly Pearl has tension because it's Pearl we're talking about, and they find out that they have very conflicting views of who Pink Diamond was, and through that sort of thing and being put in a situation where they're both about to die, they fuse and they make this beautiful being. Like, nice. Like, this is a very obvious reference to Revolutionary Girl Utena, which I've tried to watch, but I cannot. She gets slapped one too many times. I forget her name, but she gets slapped one too many times, and I'm tired. I might try it again for the aesthetics, but anyway. So this was honestly the highlight for me because, okay, with Steven Universe, it has a large pacing issue. I feel like these episodes would have been fine if up until this point within the actual series itself, it had paced itself better and dealt with things on time, because now this just feels like it's out of the woodworks. And I understand it's been a few years within the show, but for us, the viewer, the audience members, it has not been the time that has passed within the show. Like, it kind of has, but not really. The pacing overall, I feel like it's very missed. It's you know, it's there, it's not very good, and a lot of these issues should have been dealt with much earlier, much more in time, and they should have gone along with the process of Steven sort of growing up. But I'm glad that they're showing Steven still has some growing up to do, and he's dealing with like his anger, and there's still a lot of like issues that haven't really gone away just because, you know, he's dealt with the diamonds, or he's dealt with some of the things. He still has to deal with the psychological repercussions of, you know, going through all of that. So, you know, that's also a good and fun message that this show is continuing to sort of push forward. Overall, the episodes were okay. Volleyball was the most interesting one because it did handle something that was a mystery for the longest fucking time, and it had a fairly satisfying answer and conclusion-ish kind of thing. Does this mean Pearl and Pink Pearl gay? I don't know. Who knows? Listen, I'm an OG fan. I'm an OG stan. I stand Prometheus a while ago. We'll see how that turned out. So I'm not banking my hopes up for a lot of things. Prometheus gang, you know what I'm on about. Oh, the pain. So, you know, the series overall, or rather the 4 episodes we got were fine. They were okay. I hope that they do not just leave Jasper there hanging. I need her in my life. And yeah, that's sort of it on that portion of it. As you can see, we are pretty far on in the Speedpaint, and I will be posting like little screenshots as I continue to talk about it. Anyway, so I really enjoyed drawing this. I think it's one of my better pieces as of late, since I have really hated rendering and I've really been hating my art. And it was just overall like a lot of fun, and it sort of like reignited my passion for drawing again. And like this design I think is gorgeous, and you can see me at the start. I'm first thumbnailing it out and sort of like figuring out, you know, where everything's gonna go, how I wanted the pose, and I wanted the pose to be a little more dynamic and a little more sort of forward, and really sort of showing this sort of like elegant fighter looking kind of feel to it, which I think I achieved with a sort of like ribbon dancer fighter, which I think like Mega Pearl is supposed to be. And I wanted it to be more anime-esque because of obviously the anime inspirations for, you know, their design and everything. Obviously Revolutionary Girl Utena, you know, all that sort of stuff. I wanted to like really like pull out my weeb boots and be like, all right, we are putting on the Madoka Magica opening on repeat, Sword Art Online opening on repeat, even though it's not a like, you know, magical girl anime, but that opening slaps so hard. And yeah, and then I was just like, yeah, let's do this. And you can see me cycle through a few poses. At the start I sort of had this initial pose, and I was really trying to get her arms in it, but there wasn't a really good way that I'd have like that extended arm out and keep her hands within the frame of the drawing. So I just opted on not doing it at all. But then I consulted with some friends, which if you don't do while you're drawing or at some point when you draw, I really suggest you do, because having opinions from outside people can really sort of help you improve on things that, you know, might have been okay at the time, but like could really just be better. And I got two differing opinions, one saying I should sort of pull the hand up more, so it's sort of like a very sort of like majestic kind of anime-ish magical girl pose, and the other one was a little more like just so the hand is in frame and sort of like, you know, wraps around more towards her head. And I preferred this one more because the other one was more sort of delicate and too like I'm going into a transformation sequence rather than I'm gonna go fight you and look pretty while I do it, which is what I wanted more for it to sort of lean towards. If I wanted to lean to sort of the magical girl aspect, I would have done a more Sailor Moon pose, I suppose. I'm not even sure. But yeah, so after sort of doing that, it was just a process of laying down the colors and then rendering it, which I've had quite a bit of trouble rendering things these days. I'm not in my game, but this was surprisingly easy to render, and I found out the way I wanted to do shine on face. I really got that eye down. I feel like the eye is like my favorite thing of all, like in this entire piece. One thing that I extremely had a lot of trouble with was the shine on her hair. I wanted to maybe do like the anime sort of zigzag kind of things that you see that are very prevalent, and I hated them at first, and I was having a friend sort of help me with the sort of how it would look and stuff, and she suggested I sort of like soften down the edges and everything, and I hated it at first because I have all these like stark whites especially, and she told me to sort of tone those down as well, and I was like, this hurts me so much because I love those sort of like bright whites across the thing, but ultimately it did help the picture look better, so thanks. And yeah, the rest is just sort of a process of rendering everything out and, you know, doing everything progressively, yada yada yada. So yeah, I wanted to I really wanted to draw this few, like I saw her and it was on site. I think the aesthetics are gorgeous. I might even draw her again. I'm not even gonna flex. But who knows? Maybe instead I'll just I'll draw Madoka Magica because I'm gonna rewatch that soon. But yeah, so that's the end of the Speedpaint. I don't know what happened to me back. I'm having an aneurysm. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Speedpaint. Tell me what you thought of the episodes below. Did you think they were okay? Did you think they were bad? Did you like them? Like, go on, tell me. do the things. And I will be seeing you next time, most very much likely, because I don't doubt there will be another fusion that I will not like. I will like another fusion within this show, and you know what? It'll be there. Or I'll be back being a weeb on main. Who knows? It's almost a new year. It's almost a new me, and yeah. Goodbye.